So welcome to the Massachusetts State House. My name is Gabe. I'll be your guide today. If you have any questions for me, just let me know. Now, we'll start right here. This is the model of what the State House was like when it first opened up 220 years ago, 1798. Now, we've been running the government of Massachusetts from this building for the last 220 years. The legislative and executive branches in particular. But the original building used to be a lot smaller than the one you see here today. The original building went from those doors to those side steps. Yeah, that's it. Wow. That is the original. 65 feet from the front to the back for the first 100 years. Everything around that, all that, was put on in 1895, 100 years later. The wings on either side, most became was put on in 1914. So bit by bit by bit, we expanded the size of the State House. The wings are mostly Boston, running all those important. So, you know our famous golden dome? It wasn't even gold when we first opened this building up. It was originally just a gray dome, wood shingles, and gray paint. It didn't look very nice. And it leaked, which was a bit of a problem. We had Paul Howard here with 8,000 pounds of power on top of the gold. Sorry, on top of the dome. Stop it, making it look a lot nicer. We didn't actually put the gold on until 1874. Now, that gold is still today thinner than a sheet of paper. You took all the gold off, you get a ball roughly the size of your head. That's it.
Wow.
So it's real gold. It's real gold. 23.5 carat Italian gold leaf. Just super, super, super fit. All right. Any questions so far? Still the context skills, Where's that from, actually? Kansas? Chicago. Chicago. That was pretty bad.
I'm born and raised in Chicago.
Sorry, we're in the suburbs, like 45 minutes out. Joliet area.
I know where Joliet is.
All right. Let's run and door call. Where's everyone now sweating more? Came on most of the days for here.
I feel it.
All right. Now, welcome to door call. Now, this hall is sort of the main entranceway to the Massachusetts State House. Most people are coming over the last couple years, those just as doors on the side. Today, it's named used for our history for the main VIP entrance right there. It's named for the 10 door calls that are right in the front. Those doors right there, hiding behind the gift shop, are called Bullfinch entrance. They're named for the architect of the building, Charles Bullfinch, and they only get open on a couple of special occasions. The first of these occasions is on the governor's last day in office. The governor's last day is an event called the Long Walk, where they leave their office on the third floor, we have a grand staircase in the State House, and this entire second floor, out doors, down steps, and into the Boston Common. It's a ceremony like that every governor's done for the last 130 years. It's just a ceremony stepping out. The whole thing started when we had this one governor that was so unpopular, he was abandoned by his entire staff on state office, and he didn't like him. For some reason, he decided to keep it. The second reason why we open the front doors is to welcome in an active head of state, which usually means our president or somebody else's president. The last person to open up the front doors was the president of Portugal last year. Now, before that was President of Armenia, before that was President of Cape Verde. We actually haven't had a U.S. president use the front door since 1912.
Wow.
Well, you know that? Yeah, he came here in 1912, and he was not here to see us. He's here for the Grand Opening Defender March. Oh. He was a baseball fan. He wanted to throw out the first pitch. He did so. He just had out here 5 hours there. His priorities were good. We had a few close calls. Calvin Coolidge, he was governor, took a long, lonely walk out. He never bothered coming back when he was president. John F. Kennedy made it here a week before he was technically president. They made him go to the side.
Oh.
And Bill Clinton actually came here in 93 when he was president, on the week that the stairs outside were under construction, so he couldn't get it out. So technically it still stands. Speaking of presidents, I got one more show here, too. See right here. Well, now, this portrait of Abraham Lincoln is super rare, because he's standing up at his full height. You're never going to find a portrait or a photograph of Abraham Lincoln standing up at his full height done while he's alive. He made sure of that. He made sure every single portrait was either sitting down or from the chest up. Now, even Lincoln Memorial was doing. So the reason for this is he was very self-conscious about how tall he was. He was 6'4" at a time when the average man was around 5'7". Not that didn't help. It also really didn't help that his right-hand man, William Seward, Secretary of State, was 5'4", and his wife was 5'2". It would have been very hard to understand how tall he was and everything else. Even better. Now, I'm an inch taller than Lincoln was. Abraham Lincoln had arms 6 inches longer than mine. Yeah, he was a little self-conscious. He was. Washington was 6'1", and he was drinking by the time he was president. Washington. Still the three things. Being the British, water dancing, and Jerry decorating. Read his letters, they're absolutely hilarious. More than that. But this portrait of Lincoln, the only reason why he's standing up in this one is because we did this 4 years after he died. And so we couldn't exactly object to it. This is, I'm sorry?
Other renderings?
Photographs. All right, can you see the face on there? The face is a little bit familiar, right? It's the exact same face from the old $5 bill. Yeah, we call this the $5 portrait, actually. The same face is on the old $5 bill because the face on the old $5 bill, face was photograph, comes from the same photograph, done by a man named Matthew Brady. They took the same likeness both. There's another little secret hiding here if you know where to look. See how his arms stuck down his back? Yeah. That's deliberate. Portrait artists used to charge you more money depending on the number of limbs they had drawn in the painting.
Wow.
Especially the number of hands. I hate drawings. Yeah. If you're good saying it costs an arm and a leg.
Well, that's fine.
And now you know where it comes from. Next time you're in an art museum, take a look around. You'll notice a suspicious number of those older paintings with hands stuck inside their shirts or tucked behind their backs. We just have to markets. And any white drawing hands. All right. Any questions so far?
That is the original?
That is the original. Like, I'll be back. 1905. Let's have a one president show. Right up top.
Bad.
Okay. Introduce George Washington. Our first president, perhaps fittingly, this is the first statue placed in the Massachusetts State House. This was put here in 1827. And when it was first put here, a lot of people didn't like the statue, entirely because of how he's dressed. As you can see, he's got the lovely Roman toga over his shoulders. He's got the scrolls representing wisdom in his hands. The idea behind the statue was to dress Washington like an ancient Roman senator. Unfortunately, a lot of people felt he looked more like an ancient Roman emperor. Or king, or Napoleon, pick pick. In any case, a lot of people felt the statue was inappropriate, a lot of them wanted to take it down, and we really didn't want to do that here. It's a very lovely statue, and a lot of that here costs a fortune. So what we wanted to do was we wanted to keep it here. And to do that, we had to be creative. We had to find the sculptor of the statue and drag them back to Boston so they could lie to the newspapers. They published an article in the newspapers that said, no panic, that's not so good. It's an army blanket. We want to ward off a bunch of cold. We can't like torch. Those aren't scrolls in his hand. Those are his battleplans. And it was just enough of a lie to keep it here for the last 200 years. Wow. It's enough. It didn't have to be much. It was enough. All right. Yeah, most depictions of Washington you'll see is when he looks like he's 25 and gorgeous. Washington was a great boy, especially that age. When he's old, he gets much older across here. We actually have a bust of him in his actual 60s and 70s. He goes way across here than this. But yes, Washington. All right, any questions? All right, right this way. to Nurses Hall. Now, this hall is meant to honor the nurses of the American Civil War. More specifically, it's meant to honor 3 nurses from Massachusetts. They are founded the American Red Cross, Louisiana Alpine, St. John, and what they did from the Jersey nurses of the American Civil War. This is also the other part of the building. I mentioned earlier that the original building went up to those 5 steps. This background building was done later. Yeah, this is part done in 1895. That's what 200 on it. They had a lot more money in 1895. So that half of the building was done at Harvard. Yeah, we also have a lot more time. Behind me, there are 3 events in Massachusetts history. That was all year was the night Ryan from Boston, like the doctor. He actually never based doctor. He has a capital doctor, so that's most of that jail. On the opposite side, you'll see Boston Tea Party. There are a bunch of troublemakers down below, a perfectly good team, Boston Harbor, who's Rosie back then. And chief of those troublemakers, St. Adams, he manages to be the first governor to actually sit in the opposite stairs. He's our third governor technically, but he's the guy who had the building built. Fun fact, he actually lost the election the year previous, so he opened the building up a week early, so he was the first one to sit in the office. He had the building built, that's what we do. The one in the middle is much less well known, but it probably affects our lives today more than these other two. Despite these being way more famous. This is the James Otis fighting against the writs of assistants. It's a court case that happens a dozen years before the American Revolution. And it basically boils down to this. The writs of assistants are a set of laws that say British soldiers and officers can walk into private residence and confiscate anything that is suspected is not taxed or contraband. And needless to say, this goes over great. Yeah, no one's really happy about this. And we send the best lawyer we have in the colonies, named James Otis, to argue against this in the Massachusetts Superior Court. He argues that this violates our rights as English citizens. And the court rules that Massachusetts citizens do not have the same rights as English citizens, which goes over really, really, really bad. It basically kickstarts a legal firestorm that doesn't last, that lasts up until the American Revolution, was the kibosh of the whole thing. But that affects our lives today for one reason, and that's because in the courtroom that day is a young man, 21, fresh out of law school, and so completely insignificant they don't even put him in the painting. His name is John Adams, and 25 years later, he's writing the Constitution for Massachusetts, including the Bill of Rights for Massachusetts. In that, he puts the Fourth Amendment, which is called the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution of the United States today. It's called the right to search and seizure, which details the process for how property can and cannot be confiscated. It's also the foundation of every privacy law in the United States today. It comes from the arguments of that guy in the courtroom. But it's really kind of complicated just to get from there, so I still haven't found this measure list, or any surprise professors. All right, does anyone have questions?
When were those painted?
These were painted in 1895 when the back half of the building was built. These are done by Robert Reed. All right, right this way. We're going to go to the Memorial Hall. This is probably Tracy's house. Welcome to Memorial Hall. This hall is where we honor soldiers and veterans of Massachusetts. It's also where at one point we kept most of our flags. Our state flags, our historic flags, our state regimental flags. At one point, 300 flags, some of outlets all around us. Most of them were taken down about 50 years ago, or a few generations ago to look at the preserved them. Some of these flags are preserved because of damage, others are preserved because, well, they're 200 years old now. So everybody reserved. That's what the forest flag was. During the Battle of Lexington Common, by the British, we captured the flag after that 240 years ago in kind of control. Which flag now has 13 red, white stripes. It's much improved. These flags, these are battle flags. They're in battle during the American Civil War. Their history is written in the Gold Wars. These flags are in battle. The time for radio communications, nobody could tell where anybody was on these AKI Civil War battlefields. Those are flags, just so everybody knows where you are and nobody shot by your guys. That's the picture. So you can see these flags are damaged in one way or another. The 10 Green Center, you can see the center's been damaged heavily. That's the 54th Regiment. That is the first all-African-American regiment in the country. Next to it, you'll see one with the circle set stars. Half that flag is literally missing. It's been shot to shreds. This is pretty dramatic, and off of the track, you can actually see the blood stains on the circle set, the first regiment flag there. But the room itself was basically carved out of Italian marble. The architect was in Tocino. We gave him 6 different types of Italian marble Plymouth, and we basically called the unit. We didn't get this. Straight across, you'll see 13 original seals, each of which represent one of the original 13 states of the United States. That's who's towards the long east and the southern. The 4 paintings around me are all different moments in Massachusetts history. Again, behind you, we have John Lee Richard in there. He's actually done several times in South Massachusetts and Newton's office. To your left, you'll see the Battle of Concord Bridge, the first battle of the American Revolution. Like most revolutionary war battles, you can't see the enemy for shot fire. On the opposite side, that's the celebration of the Civil War. That's the same reason in the turn of the triumph. And right behind you, you can see the pillars setting off the Mayflower. Those are the first European settlers of Massachusetts. The architect took 2 members of that painting. Those people don't look like they just spent 3 months in the United Country in the middle of winter. It was a bad trip, let's just say that. All right, does anyone have any questions? These flags are the American flag, Massachusetts flag, prisoner of war flag, and the flag of the Gold Star families. The flag of the Gold Star families are those who have loved one dying in service to the United States. Or lived in the United States Armed Forces. Yes, you got it. Sure.
I read somewhere that the red on the American flag is supposed to be for the soldiers that fought in the American Revolution. Is that correct?
That's partially true. Red with the color scheme is one part of the French, one part of red, and white, one part of the blood center. Let's say, so yes, yeah, that's actually just from America, instead of red, white.
And who's the prisoner of war flag? Somebody gets back here, or?
It's meant to signify all those who have been captured during warfare in service to the United States. We're still camped in foreign countries. Are there any questions? Great. Let's take a break all class. What's all How's round 6?
These are the ones that were tucked away in there.
No, these are a little different. Everybody? Very good. Welcome to the Great Hall of Flags. I guess is what we call that. Now, in this room, I've been walking you through 200-year-old parts of this building. I've been walking you through 100-year-old parts of this building. This room's only about 30 years old. It was built in 1990, specifically to host large-scale events inside the state house. And see, we're set up for somebody giving a speech or something tomorrow. I don't even know what this is. I'll find out tomorrow. Don't tell me anything. Now, We host every kind of event you can possibly imagine here. The other place we host events in this building, Doric Hall, it's a nice room, but there's pillars right in the middle of it. Not really good for that. There's Hall, also very nice, but it's kind of small, as you saw. Memorial Hall, very nice. But we can only host certain events in there. Here, we can host anything. Any kind of job fair, career fair, college fair, food fair, every kind of special interest group from the Boy Scouts to Greenpeace. We've had all sorts of things. We had voting during election day. We had blood drives. We had a wedding once. We never did a wedding again after that. Apparently weddings are a real pain to actually pull off, so we're never doing that again. My favorite was the beer tasting. That was after hours. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, before 1990, there wasn't much here. There was no marble, no flags, no roof. This thing was a concrete slab right in the middle of the building for nearly 100 years. The reason is actually kind of interesting. You notice we have this lovely brick building. In August, it turns into this lovely brick oven. Now, back in 1895, when we first built this part of the building, we needed some way to air out the interior of the building so no one died of heat stroke in the hallways. So this was the way you aired out the interior offices and areas of the building. And by 1990, we didn't have air conditioning, so it was kind of superfluous. So we decided, let's turn it into an events room. Marble, flags, roof, no. Now, the flags in here honor the 351 towns and cities of Massachusetts, going from oldest to youngest. The oldest being this one right above my head. The white green one is actually Plymouth, at 399 years young. Second oldest, right next to it, Salem, Lynn, and then Boston. And then for some reason. And they get younger and younger and younger and younger, and younger, going around the clockwise direction, to the second layer, to the third layer, and finally ending actually right above your head. The top row, where you see the three empty poles. The three empty poles at the top row, the white and blue flag next to them, is actually the town of East Brookfield. At the tender age of 99, it's the youngest town in Massachusetts. The three empty poles at the end, put there just in case we decide to make new towns. We figured better safe than having two model room. The other random places that are just missing flags, that are yawn, those are from towns and cities that don't have flag. These are usually very small towns where making flag isn't exactly high on their to-do list. And if and when they decide to put a flag, or give us one, we'll have them put it up. Even if it's gospel, with 75 people. Yeah, that's false.
Wow.
All right, now real questions.
What's your favorite flag in here?
My favorite flag? What's my favorite flag? It's probably my old hometown's flag, Amherst. It's right in your head, it's nice and purple. It's got a nice big book on it, because of course it does. My town's a college town, there's 5 colleges right in the immediate area.
What flag is missing there?
I don't know which one that is off the top of my head. We're missing 18 of them, and I don't know all of them off the top of my head.
Why are you missing 18 of them?
Because a lot of these towns are very small. Making flag isn't exactly how
Oh,
you do
that's where you.
Yeah,
I thought that was
yeah.
three.
But like
Okay.
they're actually slowly doing it. I met a woman just last year from Greenfield, this tiny town actually near where I used to live, and her middle school actually had a contest designing the new flag for Greenfield. And they would her design one, and they actually touched up a little bit to that. It's still a flag for Greenfield. I'll find it here somewhere.
Okay. Cool.
Though my other favorite flag is probably Taunton's, right over there. It's basically still a British flag. We haven't changed it in 300 years. All right. Are there any other questions? All righty. Let's head on upstairs.
Apparently.
Yeah, the black light. This is on its own. This one is on black light. Because of the gentleman's strongholds. You made specific to say this. All right, keep it up, please. Keep it up. Thank you. Right. Right here. We have every single seal that at some point in the last 391 years has represented the colony or Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Now, big blue here in the center, you've probably seen that one before because we stick it on everything in this place. That's the Great Seal of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. We use it today, and it's been representing us for the last 239 years. Now, if you look closely at that seal, it'll tell you a lot about Massachusetts. The man on the seal is from the Massachusetts tribe. Is that familiar? Massachusetts, in his language, literally translates as around the Blue Hills, which Blue Hills are actually the southwest, we live in towns like Camden and Milton, but it's also my background in the seal blue, and my skin color is blue, and like half the decorations in the building are blue. The sword at the very top makes a bit more sense between the Latin at the bottom of the seal. How's your Latin?
No, we're not familiar.
Well, mine is terrible, but thankfully I can choose. The bottom reads, translated, by the sword you seek peace, but peace only under liberty. It's the state motto of Massachusetts. It's a bit wordy, New Hampshire's better. First and last time I'll hear you say that. Most of these other seals are English seals, used by the royal governors of Massachusetts during their tenure. They represent the governors personally or their families. Now, we've got a good collection of lions, unicorns, the combination on this side, a bunch of knights and wolves over there, whatever this chicken dragon thing is. I've been doing my level best to not find out what that actually is, just so I can keep calling it the chicken dragon. But there's 2 seals here that I really want you to take a look at. One's at the bottom center. Now, that right there is called the Revolutionary Seal. It was designed by Paul Revere in 1775 for the American Revolution, and it's not very simple. It's a Massachusetts soldier with a broadsword in one hand and a copy of the Magna Carta in the other. He is quite literally ready to fight for his rights. Yeah, didn't have time for so The other one I want you to take a look at is a different kind of not subtle. Not sorry. That one, for better or for worse, is the original seal of the colony of Massachusetts. That is supposed to be a Native American, wearing a grass skirt, which they did not wear, and saying, "Come over and help us," which they most certainly did not need. Yeah. That seal was designed by somebody in England from 391 years ago, who probably never been here before. Yeah, we used that one for 56 years, and I'm not putting that one any more than I have to. All right. Does anyone have any questions about seals or anything up to this point so far? Nope. Alrighty. To the house now.
What was amazing here?
Look at the gallery. Hands off. But you'll take your hats off. Welcome to Massachusetts House of Representatives. This room houses the 160 representatives of Massachusetts, each of whom represent right around 43,000 people each. They must meet here every 3 days, and they must go for re-election every 2 years. Now, you see these two sets of names behind me on the black panels? Those are the names of every single representative in the House. It also shows how they vote. Now, these buttons right in front of you on each and every desk, multicolored. Green for yes, red for no, white to change your vote, black to tell page. Now you vote, shows up next to your name. Green for yes, red for no, white to change your vote, and yeah, that makes sense. Anybody, there's no secret ballots, there's no secret votes. Anybody's allowed to come and watch the House from the galleries that are behind you, and we even have cameras that broadcast things live over the internet on MAlegislature.gov, so you can access data from here from anywhere in the world if you want to, watch it from anywhere in the world. But this room was built in 1895, and like most of the back half of the building, they built it beautiful. The walls are made of white mahogany from Honduras. Behind me, there are 5 beautiful murals of important moments in our history. From the one on the far left, which is the time that we became a colony of England, that's Governor Winthrop bringing up the charter and making it official, to the one on the far right, which is the time that we politely asked an English governor to leave Boston, or else. Leo Rose being the guy in the painting with the rock. Yeah, we didn't like Governor Andros. Burned down his house too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, the rules are fun. He didn't like it. He actually survived it, became governor in New Jersey later.
Whoa.
Yeah. The most important of these, however, is probably the fourth one to the right. That is the 3 guys sitting at the desk. That's Sam Adams, John Adams, and James Bowdoin drafting the Massachusetts State Constitution back in 1779. It would pass the next year in 1780. It is, in fact, the oldest constitution still in continuous use in the world. We are 7 years older than the United States, and we don't like to forget that. Their 1780 constitution crashed and burned by 1786. No. Now, that constitution, fun fact, John Adams, it's Sam Adams, John Adams, and James Bowdoin wrote that. John Adams wrote like 95% of it. We have a letter from him to his wife complaining about the fact that both Sam Adams and James Bowdoin threw most of the work on him. He called himself a subcommittee of one. Yeah. Thankfully, he was a really good lawyer, so we're still able to use that today because of how flexible he made it. Now, around the rim of this room, you'll see names. These names are of important people from Massachusetts who made a mark on the state or country as a whole. You'll recognize a few of the names like John Adams and John Quincy Adams, Charles Sumner, who's really beat to death in the federal Senate, Samuel Morse, the inventor of Morse code and the telegraph, Emerson Hawthorne, writer of the poets, Henry Knox, the first Secretary of War, Benjamin Franklin. The Lincoln over there is actually not Abraham Lincoln, it's Benjamin Lincoln. We'd love to claim Abraham Lincoln, we can't, he was born in Kentucky. There's also Horace Mann, my favorite, the founder of the public education system in the United States of America, a fact which I love to tell every single school group that comes into this building. It's his fault. Now, one of the most interesting things in this entire room is actually right behind you. And up. Did everyone see the fish? Behold, the Massachusetts Sacred Codfish, the third. Yeah.
Why?
Okay, short history lesson. Massachusetts was built off of 2 things. Really, really good stocks of pine trees and fish. All of the fish. We call it Cape Cod for a reason. That fish, the pine trees let us build whatever we needed to, and the codfish fed us. The codfish didn't just feed us, it fed the entire eastern seaboard of the United States at times. And so the codfish became a sign of both good luck, wealth, prosperity, and good fortune. So in every legislative chamber we've ever had, we've got a codfish. This is the third. The first one burned down in the fire. The second one the British stole during the American Revolution. We're not getting that one back. It's probably halfway between here and Nova Scotia at the bottom of the ocean. And this is the third one. It was given to us in 1784 by a man named John Roe as a good luck charm and a reminder of what was feeding Boston and where most of the money was coming from. We kept it as a good luck charm with the house wherever they met for the last 235 years. It's older than the building. It's been with them in the old State House where they first received it. There are original chambers in this building, which is where we're going next, and in this room, for the last 120 years. The only time that fish has ever been away from the House of Representatives is when somebody stole it. College students.
It's close to the gallery. Of course,
Harvard students.
Of course.
Yeah. 2 young men were spotted leaving the State House one day in 1933 with a suspiciously codfish-sized flower box. We tracked down the florist, who happened to be right next to Harvard, and she happily explained to us that the 2 Harvard newspapers were in the middle of a one-upsmanship contest on who could do the stupidest thing, effectively. We're fairly certain the Harvard Lampoon newspaper won. Now, this basically led with 3 days of everybody yelling at each other. The Harvard Lampoon's office was getting searched. The dean of students threatened to cancel graduation. I'm fairly certain somebody got to try to get arrested in New Jersey over this. In any case, we got the fish back after 3 days. On midnight on the 3rd day, somebody called the chief of Harvard security and said, I have information about the codfish. Come out to Chestnut Hill Reservoir at 2 a.m. That's just south of Boston. He drove out there. This is still 1933, mind you. He finds a car with no plates. There's a 10-mile car chase. And somewhere near Watertown, that thing gets thrown out of a car window.
Wow.
And that's how we get the codfish back. I wish I could make that up. I wish I could make that up.
Wow.
I actually have a picture of the chief of Harvard security with that fish on his desk, looking like he's been up all night. And something alone or two. He's not been very happy yet. All right.
So they never caught the person who...
No, we never caught who was actually responsible. I have my suspicions about what went on there. I suspect whoever stole it might have been a little too connected. But that's all we can really say. That's the official report according to the Boston Globe. All right. Now, are there any questions? Yeah.
What happens if there's a person in the house that doesn't want to vote either way because of conflict of interest?
You are required to vote in the House of Representatives unless you are sick and near death and not here, in which case you can also give your proxy over. 2, if you have a conflict of interest, if you are directly involved in the subsequent question, you'll profit one way or the other. You're also required to not state your opinion on that one. But other than that, we elect you to vote.
Okay.
So you have to vote. All right. Any other questions? All right.
I got one more.
Oh, all right. One more.
How many terms are you able to do here?
As many as you can get elected to. There are 0 term limits in Massachusetts. 0. In the House, in the governorship, 0 term limits. They're actually a relatively new thing. The whole presidential term limits didn't really start until like the 1950s when Truman put in the amendment. And before that was, hey, Washington term. It's better than George Washington. The only thing you can ever say, yeah, better than George Washington, or Roosevelt.
There's a thing with it's a mom. It's a just like a mom. That's okay. How did you like it's a mom? That would be funny if that first name was mom, last name was dad. Mom and
He met your name. And Sonny President Pence was Vice President of Massachusetts and served over Christmas.
his name is Increase? Interesting.
left side of the room, please. Left side of the room. Just clear that door to this door. Occasionally the governor will hear me talking about it, and he'll pop out from that door like a ghost. You see a guy with about 6'7", couple of tall, and he's got white hair. Yeah, that's what the governor. Okay, so this is the governor's lobby. The governor's office is right through those doors, has been for the last 200 years. And nowadays, it's more than just the governor's office. Today, it's both the governor's ceremonial office, the governor's actual working office, the governor's chief of staff's office, the lieutenant governor's office, governor's secretary's, governor's council chamber, and a whole bunch of other stuff that you know about. But you may have noticed walking down the hallways, we have portraits of all the governors that have ever served. Now, there's two traditions. The first is that on the governor's last, after the governor is finished being governor, they get a portrait done. They get to choose theirs. And that means we have portraits of every single governor that's ever served. The second tradition is that whenever a new governor comes into the office, they pick a portrait of one of their predecessors and put them in the office with them to inspire them. So our current governor has the portrait of Governor Volpe in his office, which is why Governor Volpe's portrait is tiny and terrible. It's the thing. Now, Governor Volpe was actually a friend of Governor Baker's closet. He knew each other quite well. He was also the federal secretary of transportation. And transportation's been a pretty big deal here in Massachusetts, especially these last 4 years, because a month after Charlie Baker took office, we had this massive nightmare snowstorm. Does anyone hear for that? No. Yeah, we had 140 snow in London. So basically, the transit system just collapsed in on itself.
I bet.
It was not great. So yeah, transportation is kind of a big issue in Massachusetts, especially these last 4 years. Now, other governors had different portraits. Governor Patrick over there, our previous governor, picked the portrait of John Albion Andrew, the governor that was governor during the Civil War, and was also a radical anti-slavery activist. Governor Romney, well, was currently on, he was being a senator, picked the portrait of Governor John Hancock, a major businessman, financier, and one of our best governors. I actually like Governor Romney's portrait a lot because it's the only portrait with two people in it. He wanted to have his wife and baby with him. They told him no, so he had to sell for a portrait of her on the desk.
Sweet.
My favorite is Governor Wells, who's currently running for president actually, and he's outside in his jeans with an armadillo.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Super cool.
Every time that's Governor Costas, he doesn't like his portrait. All right, does anyone have any questions?
I have a question. Sure. Oh, well, we're
Excuse me, sir.
Delaware somewhere. But they said their governor's happening on the
Yes, I have favorite portraits. Yeah, these are good. All right, any other questions? All right, right this way.
Well, when you repeat it every day. He probably had a book first.
It's more
You have something important to do with the president's coming in.
Yeah, I suspect so also. He's not gonna
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome to the Senate reading room. All right. So, welcome to the Senate reading room. We're now back in the oldest part of the building, 220-year-old part. This is where the Senate would have met for the first 100 years. The House of Representatives would have done the room right across the way, and 120 years ago, when the House got a swinging new room down the hall, the Senate moved to the House Old Room. So this room became room for the senators to read, caucus, host events, host on guests, whatever they needed. And this is probably my favorite room in the building, because what they tried to do here. Now, what they tried to do, in this room, you'll notice the interesting colors on the walls. About 8 years ago, we got into the walls, and there were 26 layers of paint. We found the original green and the original yellow. Those were the colors in this room 20 years ago. We found as close to the original carpets as we could, and we still have these guys. Nice big pine trees. Every other color in this building. In the original building, all the colors are pine trees. And then they got slowly replaced with aluminum, steel, cast iron, plaster, marble, what have you. Things that don't burn. That's the important thing. But these are still like nice, flammable pine trees. They've been holding up this building for 220 years. Doing good. Now, what we decorate this room in is mostly images of past Senate presidents. The most famous of them is probably the guy living in the corner behind me. That's Calvin Coolidge, president of the Senate, governor of Massachusetts, vice president, and then president of the United States. He actually never lost a election. My favorite, of course, Horace Mann, founder of the public education system in the United States of America. He's a lot of fun. Now, one last thing I want to show off here. See this here? You can see it. Just yourself, because lifetime restricts this one. You might notice something very odd about this table. It's been sliced into 13 unevenly sized slices. The world's strangest table. Now, who here remembers the pie charts? 13 unevenly sized slices, the population of the United States, divided by the 13 colonies. Yeah, we're one of the bigger slices. Won't find this one in the Island State House. This is right here, second largest, after Virginia. All right. Now, are there any questions about this room before we move on to the next one? Who made the table? I actually don't know. The table was made 220 years ago. I don't think anyone truly special made that one. I think it made it fun. All right. Other questions? Okay.
How do you change the lights on thing?
Ladders. Really? Nice big ladder. Move this out of the way. The inch over here. Ladder.
Like an actual ladder.
No, we're doing it.
No, we actually have ladders. We got a ladder. Like you go up like 8 or 9 feet. Nice table floor. Boop, boop, done. The real hard lights change are actually back in Memorial Hall. They actually have to go up into the sub-ceiling to get them. Yeah, it's apparently really, really crazy. I did ask the maintenance staff what are the worst lights to change in the building. They said Memorial Hall. All right. Let's take the Senate. Right this way.
Should have Bobby Joel done it?
No, right now. Sector. Right down this place. Keep going down, keep going down, keep going down. This one, yeah. Not this one. So, just pick a left, put it down. Okay. Welcome to the Massachusetts State Senate. Now, this room houses the 40 senators of Massachusetts, each of whom represent right around 173,000 people each. They must be here like the House every 3 days. They must go for re-election every 2 years. Now, these chambers The Anderson fills out 220-year-old part of the building, and we're right underneath the golden dome as it happens. Now, this used to be the House Chamber. And when it was the House Chamber, the sacred codfish was hanging right above your head. Actually, I don't know if I right now. And when the House left here, the Senate was a little upset. They had hoped to inherit the Massachusetts sacred codfish. And they didn't. The House took it with them when they moved. So, they got their own. Right above the chandelier. May I introduce sacred codfish number 4? AKA the Holy Mackerel.
Oh, wow.
That's actually what we call it. That's what But yes, that is the Holy Mackerel. And that is the fourth sacred codfish. It's actually just a codfish. We just call it the Holy Mackerel. No one's ever told that. Now, yeah, watch out for that. Now, we're right underneath the golden dome. But we're also at mile 0 of Boston. I think when you drove to the city, you might see a sign saying 10 miles or 20 miles of Boston. Or you came here by train or plane, you might have looked on your GPS and said, oh, 30 miles from Boston. Well, you made it. All distance to Boston in the world is calculated from the center of this room. So, when you go back home, look how far you are from Boston. You'll know exactly how far you are away from the State House.
Well, yeah,
Now,
I wonder.
I have a bit of a brain teaser for you, if you're interested. Wrap your minds around this. This room houses the 40 members of the Senate quite well. How many representatives are there in the House?
160.
160. And they all live in this room. Can't live in galleries, which are for people to watch. So, do you think you can fit 160 people on the floor?
No.
Yes.
Well, you can, it's a little squishy. But here's the trick. 120 years ago, when they met here, the House of Representatives did not have 160 members. They had more.
Wait, what?
They had 240. You think you can fit 240 people on the floor?
Yes.
Yes.
You can. It's really, really difficult. But what about 400?
Yes.
What?
No.
400. It's a big room, but 400 people here? For what? 40? Imagine 10 times this. This is squished.
Plus a desk each?
Well, they had to. 200 years ago, 1820, we had 400 representatives. And we had bleachers going all the way back up. Now, I had 400 guys sitting in this room. They probably haven't paid that much. All over smoking. And then you have some idea what this place was like 200 years ago. Ventilation like that. All right. Now, are there any questions about the Senate?
Did they model the table after like Lancelot?
The round table was actually it's sort of a longer trope. It goes around the Western culture, but yeah, the round table where everyone sits equally, that is a thing, and that is what they were originally actually shooting for with this sort of roundish table, or the roundish. Well, it's not a table really, the round circle of desks. A little more clear. In any case, yeah. Oh, I did promise you, I would show you what Washington looked like when he was about 60 or 70. You see that guy on the far left with busts? Yeah. Normally, again, as I said, normally you get Washington when he's 25 and looks great. Not so much there. That's in the 60s.
There was a lady, I forget which one was that, but they said that he was the first person that ever did Photoshop.
Oh, it's not the first person to Photoshop. All the people that do those paintings were European royalty. They had to make it look better. They did a good job, though. But yeah, we got a few more busts. Marquis de Lafayette's next to Washington. Charles Sumner and Abraham Lincoln over there. Ben Franklin's head is sticking out. Henry Wilson, who no one remembers that name because he's only vice president of the United States. And of course, Frederick Douglass. It's no decision. Yeah.
How old was Lafayette in that bust?
Again, Lafayette's usually the guy you see when he's 17 and helping out with the Revolutionary War. They robbed Washington's Batman in this case. Here he's like 45, and he came back actually for the 50th anniversary of the Revolutionary War starting in 1824. And yeah, he was the first person given the honor of walking through the front doors. We had a hero's welcome for him in Boston.
Because I didn't recognize him at first.
Yeah, no one recognized Washington for the longest time. We thought Washington was John Adams for a long time. Lafayette walked in here when he looked like that, saw that bust of Washington, and said, "Hey, here's George Washington."
Wow.
We kind of flew the bears. Because again, that's not the image you usually see of Washington, or you usually see of Lafayette, but that's what they actually look like. They look nice. Yes, he does. The Lincoln ages dramatically. You see Lincoln in 1860 and Lincoln in 1865, he looks 10 to 15 years older. That's normal for presidents.
Yeah.
They tend to age at least a decade more in the office. You saw those here go from dark and the night, very much just pure white. And,
Yeah.
George W. Bush, all of them, the presidency ages you. Well, Lincoln maybe that worse than all. Lots of stress. Okay, we're gonna go right this way. We're gonna head that way. One more step later.
Yeah, but I'm almost done because it's kind of cold. Stop, Junior. Stop.
He ate me so far.
I have to check that out.
Did you hear them say that he had hurry to her because the president was coming?
No.
No.
Never mind.
Interesting.
Hey, you probably can't be
All right, this is gonna be our last stop. This is the Women's Memorial. It was built here in 1999. He does life to 6 women, fought better rights and better laws for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. You can actually see those laws all big behind. The first question you should ask yourself is this: why is this thing so out of the way? It wasn't supposed to be. 1999 was put up. The main entrance to the building would have been right there. One second, that was 1999. Since 2001, we've had 10 here. So nowadays, this is kind of out of the way. What came 7 years ago? Each of these ladies fought for different causes. One of the guests I mentioned briefly earlier was the superintendent during all nurses during the American Civil War. She's also one of the first great advocates for mental health care and the treatment of mental illnesses. She actually developed what they call the asylum system, which certainly didn't help, but it was one of the main causes of care. Lucy Stone, my favorite, was the leader of the women's suffrage movement, or one of the 3 main leaders of that movement during the 1800s. The other 2 being Elizabeth Cady and Susan B. The 3 together were trying to how much power they held. But Lucy Stone was the best speaker out of the by far. If you ever get a chance to read her stuff, do so. She's intense. Or just read some of her quotes and let somebody read it. Now, if you'd like to learn more about cities, and I really recommend you do, please take a look at the little box right there. It'll give you a lot of information about them and how they help change the world. Other than that, that's the end of my tour. And while someone comes along, I'll get a wonderful time. If you have any more questions, please stop by this. Other than that, if you want to go to your life, enjoy awesome.
Yes, I'm true. I can't get